Okay, I'm trying this going live thing. Okay. I'm trying to go live. I don't see me at all. Okay. So I don't hear me at all. That's a little more alarming. This is quite the test here. All right. So I hear me there. I'll test here if I play.
But especially that elevator, seeking vengeance on the university that abandoned her that night.
All right. So I can hear that. Oh. Can you hear me? I don't know how this works. All right. I'm going to just share this. Let's see what happens if I click on this. Switch to a different user thing. Oh, that's stupid. I just want to see it on YouTube. How do I do that? Let me delete this. This is kind of, I'm assuming, that no one is here. So how did that play? Oh, is this me right now? Oh, yeah. So that's me live. Oh, share. Here we go. All right, so that's me. So that's a little bit of a lag. That's kind of fun. All right, so that's me. That's going to keep going. All right, we'll stop that there. Let me just share this on Facebook. I shouldn't be doing this over here. Okay, so let's close. We are back at Reaper. Okay, I shared it in 2 spots. I'm assuming everyone can hear everything. That is whiskey. Oh, had 2 people watch it, but they were probably both me. All right. Let's get this thing up and running. So, hi. I don't know if anyone's here. Probably no one's here, which is fine because I said it in the middle of the night. So this is my current project for Lamplight Radio Play. Let me just give you the quick tour here. This is a pretty deep project. Has a whole bunch of tracks. Way more tracks than I probably need. But so the setup of this is basically you got 2 people who are they're having a conversation in a coffee shop, and their conversation often turns into narration of the story. Like someone's telling the story, and then we hear the story. We hear things that are happening. So what you have here is, so at the top I have these mute channels, and this is just a handy spot if I have a clip that I want to get rid of, but I'm not ready to like delete, like I don't want to lose it. Yeah, if I don't want to lose it, I'll throw it in that mute section, and then I usually never come back to it, but it gives me the confidence to just get rid of stuff, and if I'm trying something out. So then down here, this is the main conversation. So we have 2 characters, AJ and Grace. You'll see I have this folder here in purple. This is for when they're in the coffee shop, and you can hear when the ambience kicks in, and you can hear this. I'm just going to go ahead and turn this down because that was way too loud when I was spotting it earlier. And so, you can see you got the bus. Like this is a reverb bus, so it has the reverb of the coffee shop. It has some music playing in the background and some walla. And then I guess the one other thing that's worth seeing here, if I bring up the volume and automation, you can see it. I'm dipping out the coffee shop as they like tell the story, and we move into the story really. And so you can see where it's up, you're in coffee shop land, and when it's down, you're in the story. You can see I have this car scene, which is actually just way at the end. This is a bit of usually I don't have it stacked like this. One of the things I really like about Reaper, and perhaps other DAWs do this as well, but I can rearrange these without too much trouble. So, when I was working on this scene and playing on the music here, like when I was working with the music, I can just bring that up. I'll have it right next to the music, and I can work in and dig in and see, oh, I want this little hit to happen here. Oh, love LA, got a helicopter. So you can rearrange those guys around to get that out of the way. And then this here, you'll see recre dips. I take all the main recreation, and let me bring up these levels. We'll zoom out so we're looking at the whole project. So this is just fading them in and out. And this one, often, like this is just doing it in and out. Later, this is still a work in progress. I'll actually use this to sort of weave it around the narration that's happening up here. So when they're telling the story and want to come up, we hear that more, like have that more in the foreground. And then, so that's all of the recreation that I have dumped in there. You'll see it. That is a ton of tracks that's in there. And then this inside there is broken down by the scenes. So, so you have this Maslow Hall sound design. So all of these, this is a folder track. And then inside that folder is all of these guys. And then there's, that's Maslow Hall is a building. And then the other scene location is this elevator interior. So, and again, that's all dipped in there. And then you'll also see some other folders in here. This is mostly me messing around with trying to get like shared effects. So you can see like this pounding on the door. That's a sound effect that's in here. I actually have 2. I have them stacked up. It's all just one sound. Here, we'll play a bit of it for you. So if we solo just the pounding on the door. So that's the pounding on the door. And so what I have on here, these are nested in this guy, which, oops, don't want to do that. If we bring up the effects, come on, let's see ya. Let's see ya. There we go. Sorry, let me move this around. Sorry, this is my first time going live, by the way, so I'm clunky. All right, so I am looking for the pounding on the door. Here we go. All right. Oh, wow, I got a whole bunch of things on here. But basically, this pounding on the door, these two sounds here, they are going through. I wanted them all to share these effects. So this is a way to just set one thing of effects. And then as I change the effects, then like I can just change it once and it'll affect it on both of these tracks. And so that's the overall thing. I'll go into some of the effects more later, but another thing I got here that I think is really helpful, that I'm pleased with, this was pretty new to me for doing it this way, is the workflow for sorting these scenes. And so Reaper lets you make a whole bunch of, like you can have multiple sessions open at once. And you can, in fact, like copy and paste from one session to another. So what you can do, so what I've done here, you'll see I have them color-coded by the character. And so this right here, if I have these both turned on, this is take one, and you'll hear just...
Ever stepped foot in the building. Now, of course, there's some major problems with this story.
For one thing, I'm not dead.
Which really...
Right, so that's take one, and then right below it, I have on these tracks, take two, and so forth, so...
Now, of course, there's some major problems with this story.
For one thing, I'm not dead.
So, yeah, that's a different take. And so this is a way for me to sort of sort through, like, okay, I got all these different takes of this line. I can quickly see, oh, like you can see this is a line. It looks like we rewrote it while we're going in there. I'm just going by the waveforms here. But the thing that is new that I really like is this actually came from Jeff Entman's adopted version of his clip dumper. But you can mark in and out on a clip. And then I have it mapped, but if I do, I mark in and out, select the tracks, and then I hit this command, and it copies those guys and then turns them white. And what that's done is it's done some splices, it copies it, and then it marks it white here. Now what you've copied isn't marked white. So if I go over here and I paste it, I can just paste it into here, and I have it, and it's not white, it's just the normal track. Oh, I got something soloed on here, don't I? Where are you, you solos? Okay. So yeah, you can see it's... Ooh. Yep, you can see it's just not white, it's the normal color. And let me undo that, because I don't want to keep all that. Come on. All right, there you go. And so that's a good way to sort of sort through it the first time. But what also is good, if I'm going to revise it, when I come back to this, I open this up, it's like, oh, do we have a better take? Maybe there's a better way to do this scene. I can see which lines I have grabbed for the cut. So I know, oh, I'm working on this last take here for this section. So if I want to find a different one, I should look at these other guys. And I find that, like I said, I think that's very, like, that really has been kind of a game changer for me. Of, I guess part of it is it lets me move forward with confidence. Like I don't need to, I can pick a take, know that it's good enough, and if I need to fix it, it's easy enough to fix it, compared to compared to before. It's like I'd really want to make sure I had the perfect take, and it could slow me down. But all right, so that's that. Let's look at some of these effects that I have on here. So we will pop through here. So the one of the things that happened to me over COVID is I started buying plugins, and some of them are good, some of them are not so good. But right. So with so right now the plugins I got on here. So this is something, it's called T-Bone. It's called a tilt EQ. And what this does, and let me unmute this guy again. I usually do have a quicker way of doing all of this, but it's set up for one screen. I'm a little bit off on my keyboards. All right, so T-bone, right? This is called a tilt EQ. And so here, I'll hit play. You can hear it just on this
A
track.
furious ghost haunts the building.
And so what
But
this
especially
does,
that elevator.
it's a way to just quickly
Seeking vengeance
rebalance
on the
it.
university that abandoned her that night. Students working late in Maslow Hall hear Grace's.
So that is really helpful. I'm going to go through, this is still a work in progress. I'm going to give it another EQ pass. But this is a really, for me, a quick way of just getting some quick and dirty, like, oh, what's this going to sound like? So, like this was recorded. She's up close to the microphone getting that proximity effect. And I wanted it to sound a little more natural, like have a little more distance, sound more like a live recording versus like your voiceover voice that's up close like this. And so that's just a quick way of dialing that in. With this one, yeah, so you can see how that goes. I think with this, if I bypass it, I'm not sure if you'll hear a
furious
huge difference
ghost
here.
haunts the building. But especially that elevator. Seeking vengeance on the university that abandoned her that night.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's not doing much there. I know with the other actress, the other lead, I was hearing a lot more of that. So you can hear that here, like on hers. It's also on here. You'll see that's dialed up a bit more.
Now, I mean, it took a while, but my wife and I actually just visited for Christmas. But at the time, I was pretty lonely.
So you can probably hear it more at the time. I was pretty lonely.
But at the time, I was pretty lonely.
Anyway, like I said, that's probably going to go away. That's just a quick, like I said, that's a quick temp it in. It adjusts the highs and lows, but it also keeps the volume steady, which is nice. Like it automatically compensates for the volume. So I have that slant EQ here. Now, so let's talk about when they are in this coffee shop here. Again, this is all in progress. This makes me nervous sharing it, but what the heck.
Really breaks this story wide open. But you are named Grace, and you did get stuck in the elevator.
I did.
So my question is, are you spending your spare time haunting the elevator in Maslow Hall?
All right, so yeah, so the background's hot. Then I always find when I first go through, whenever I do the editing, whatever I have just cut in, I always make too loud. So if I put in all the dialogue, then I go through and put in all the music is always too loud. And I have to go back and turn it down. And same thing with this. Like I did the scene and then I had to get the ambience in there. I always just do it too loud. And I've kind of resigned myself to this. It's kind of like I can choose what's in there. And like mixing isn't choosing what's in there. It's listening to the quality of it. And I don't think it's unusual. I think most people can't do both at once. Like you either need to like pick what's in there or you need to like you can't compose and work on the tone at the same time kind of thing. So anyway, so the way this is working is I have this coffee shop reverb. This is a bus effect. So, it's, if I go to the mixer here and you can see, like I look at Grace, it's saying it is sending a copy of her audio to coffee shop reverb where coffee is spelled wrong. And go me. So yeah, it's sending a copy of it to that. And then you have the reverb that's affected it. And then, so both of these people, like both of these tracks are sent to that. And so they're sharing the same reverb. And what's nice about this is you can adjust how much reverb they get, of course, but also I can dial in that reverb for both of them with just one effect. So I can put in the reverb, get moving, come back. When I want to fine tune it, I can just fine tune just the reverb effect that I have on here. So the reverb effect that I have on here, first, this is Waves IR1, which is a pretty good convolution reverb. There's some other plugins you can pick up for it. Excuse me, that's very rude. But yeah, there's some other ones you can pick up. But I mean, it's Wave, so if you wait long enough, you can get it for $30. And then you can download other impulses. It's a solid beginner option, which is what I'm using here. The other thing I have here, this is a free plugin called Dear VR. It used to be called Ambio Orbit, and this is the updated version, but it is a free binaural maker. So if you're listening on headphones right now, so if we solo just the, dude, I'm recording something, like I'm live right now. Like, so if it's, no, you may not.
Why not?
Dude, I am live right now.
I'll ask Mom.
Then do not.
Ask Mom. I'll ask Mom.
Dude, I am like literally broadcasting to people right now. Go.
No, I'll ask Mom.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I hope I didn't look too terrible there. So anyway, so let's see if we can solo in here just the reverb.
Really breaks this story wide open. But you are named Grace.
Okay, so this is
and you did
the
get
reverb
stuck
that's
in the
happening here.
elevator.
And this,
So my question is, are you spending your spare time haunting the elevator in Maslow Hall?
right? All right, so that will let you place it like you are using an ambisonic microphone. And so I have it set here towards the back. It's set wide. It has a broader width. And then I changed the position to up. Now, these things, front and back, I'm not sure people really can hear the difference that it's front and back. And same thing with up and down. Like you need some sort of cue that's in there. There's a section later where I use this where I actually think it works really well, but we have somebody saying the sound went up and it went over my head and then it comes back down, and that you can hear pretty good. But right now, it just separates it, and it does add that sort of 3D vibe to it. Like here, you can hear it again.
Which really breaks this story wide open. But you are named Grace, and you did get stuck in the elevator.
I did.
So my question is, are you spending time haunting the elevator in Maslow Hall?
I can say with confidence, no.
And aside from that little detail,
So you can hear it. It separates it. Like on headphones, which I think is how most people are listening to these things, that it's a nice effect. All right, what other effects do I have here? All right, so this is the Muzak right here. So this is coffee shop music. I had to find a Christmas coffee shop music, which might have actually been the funnest thing I've ever done making an audio drama, because there is some wonderfully
some
cheesy
major
stuff.
problems with this story.
For one thing,
So yeah, there you go. Like 60s electric guitar, We Three Kings without words. Woohoo! But all right, so the effects I got on this guy. This is Ozone Imager, which is another, this is a free plugin. You can just go get it from Isotope. And I just have this driving it to mono. So it's summing it to mono. There's a whole bunch of different ways to do this. I think I did this because I wasn't sure if I wanted to go full mono on it. I wanted to just restrict it a bit, and it happens to have some nice meters to do. And in the end, I wanted it just total mono. Because, I mean, it's Muzak. You don't... Having a stereo mix of Muzak was kind of weird, because when you're in a coffee shop, it's coming out of just one speaker. And then this here is an equalizer. This is giving it like a speaker effect. This is the Tone Boosters equalizer, which I love. It is reasonably priced. I think this one was like, you can get this for like $40, I think. Which compared to what other ones do is like it's got a whole bunch of cool features. Like if you want to, you can do where it says linked, you can do just the left, or you can do just the mids and just the sides. That is more useful for doing music stuff than really dialogue and things, but it's handy to have. It also has what's called dynamic EQ, which is basically a compressor. Like it's a multi-band compressor, so you can throw this on here and say, hey, when this frequency, whatever this equalizer bell node would hit, don't do anything to it till it hits a certain level, and then it works like a compressor. So that works great as like a de-esser. That works like, yeah, that's a, like, yeah, I really like this plugin. I'm glad I got it. All right, and then at the coffee shop, voila. I don't know why I applied this. Let's see what we... So the coffee shop, it just has the equalizer on it. And what happens if I turn it off? Okay, so yeah, that high end was getting really sort of annoying. You can hear it again. So that's with it gone. It really is like ringing out and pounding all over places. So, all right, so I have that one in there. Let's see. So scrolling on down, we will do music. The music, I tried doing the music on my own in this one. We won't get into that right now. And I'll just do another couple of cool effects. So let's see, there was a good one.
Of the elevator. It started on one side, moved over the top to the other side, and then somehow it came inside.
All right, so that is, excuse me. All right, so that scratching effect, that is what I was talking about. Yeah, that needs another mix pass. Seems pretty gross, but you can see it's got, oh, where'd you go? Oh yeah, so, no, not you. Where'd the ambio orbit go? There you go. So I got this parent folder here with, says scratching, and then there's these scratching sounds. There is one scratching sound. That's the higher one, and when it's actually on the walls, I went and just recorded this. So that first one, this is a canned effect. And then this one is me recording something because I wanted it to sound on the walls. And then, so, have them added together. So, and you can see I automated down here with the Deer Micro VR the movement of it. And so I thought that was a pretty cool effect. Yeah, this Deer VR is this is a handy plugin, man, and especially for free. Let me just show a couple other things that I have here that I think are good. So over here in monitor effects, then I have span set up. This is using
The elevator. It started on one side, moved over the top to the other side, and then somehow it came.
So it gives you sort of an overall graph, and it lets things linger. And this is helpful if you're like trying to find trouble spots, if something's bugging you. I also find it really helpful for this low end, like getting into the sub bass. My monitors go down to about 50, which is pretty good, but stuff can get down lower. And then my headphones, they get down a bit lower. I don't know what the number is, but I do find it legitimately helpful.
The elevator.
To be able to see.
It started on one side, moved over the top to the other side,
way down low in there.
And then somehow it came.
Like, I'll likely go through and cut that out just because, I can't hear it. It doesn't seem like a cool sub bass effect, and it could be messing stuff up. So yeah, likely on the next pass I'll get rid of that. I have this Metric AB plugin. I consider this to be a secret weapon. It lets you can pull up references of other things. So this is something from Love and Radio. Let's see.
While Gabriel was working in the Shackled Bottom area as a blacksmith.
So that's super handy because when I'm trying to figure out what I want this to sound like, all right, okay, this is a show that I love. I know they have great mixes. I know they're awesome at it. And so I can go and check that.
There was a young woman by the name of Nan.
All right, that's what's going to be in my head. And I'm not looking for numbers. I'm just trying to hear it, what it sounds like calibrate my ears.
The elevator. It started on one side, moved over the top to the other side, and then somehow it came inside.
So, the sound effects are too loud, like I said. But, her voice seems like a decent match, right? I think, our piece is a little warmer than this one. So maybe I'll go back and, Like they take out a little bit of the bass, but I mean overall, like nothing glaring jumps out at me. But you can go through and hear different things. So like here's if I want to hear like a big narrator here. Come on, dude. Oh, I gotta turn you on. Right. Oh, apparently I don't know how to work my plugin. Well, that's metric AB, and it's great. I also have the loudness meter. Then this is really good.
So the elevator.
Usually what I do here is I will go through and I will solo the main dialogue tracks.
So the elevator. It started on one side, moved over the top to the other side, and then somehow it came inside.
All right, so I might flatten that out a little bit, but basically I try to aim those for the target that I'm aiming for. And what I do, I'm aiming for the -24 of broadcast, and then I will bump that up later. Like I will, and then I will add a limiter and stuff at the end. But this way, I like having that one out, so I don't know if for some reason this would ever get broadcast, then I can just, like, I have something that's made for that, and it's easier to just trim off the peaks to get it up to -16. And then that's the last thing here. This was from Dan Worrell. I don't know how to pronounce it, but he's a guy who does YouTube tutorials for music mixing, and they're really fantastic. But he's got something on this, and the idea here is it's a little bit of an equalizer boost, but it takes out 6 dB, so if you need to hear it quieter, it'll help you.
So the elevator. It started on one side, moved over the top to the other side, and then somehow it came inside.
And then you can turn it up to hear it more at full volume. And again, these are monitor effects, so these do not get rendered out at all. Like in when you render out your clip, it does not. Is this really showing the wrong thing the whole time? For real? Ha! That's awesome. Oh, that's pretty cool. Oh, no, it has the right one. Okay. All right, we'll see what happens here. All right, so yeah, so that's a trick. I'm not a good enough mixer to really use it. I saw it, I tried it, it's still there. Oh yeah, I was saying these are monitor effects, so these don't render out. And so you can do whatever you want here, and it will not affect the output of the final file. All right, and okay, so that's what I got, and I hope that worked. And this was my first one, just a little experiment, and I hope you liked it. All right.